Welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast, Sippin' the Dry. I'm glad to be back. Thomas Nugent hanging out with me today. My birthday was wonderful. Thanks for asking.
Oh, yeah. It was a few days ago.
It was a few days ago now, but I am a 27 again.
You were how old?
Yeah, you heard me. 27.
Oh, yeah.
Again, today we're talking about glass rods and how fragile they are with my ego. I'm just kidding. Thomas, we're talking glass rods because it's my favorite to fish, and it's your favorite to fish.
It's up there.
It's up there? Maybe not your favorite anymore because it was when we talked last time. You were getting into muskie.
That's so.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, I watched you almost exclusively fish with glass for like a year.
That's how I started. We had our Echo deal. I forget how much they helped us out with, but it was like enough for me to go. I was here for like 2 weeks. I didn't even know fly fishing, and they were like, "Hey, there's this dealer deal. Jump in, test the product." So I got the Echo 865 River Glass Seductive Caramel. I've said it so many times, and a lot of people thought it was crazy because it's not as fast. Everybody else was getting the. Oh my Lord, I forgot the name of it.
EPR.
The EPRs, yeah. Everybody was getting the EPRs and those, and I was the one getting a glass rod. And, it was weird, but it definitely made me appreciate dry fly fishing more so before anybody else, I think.
Yeah, it's the river glass is not super beginner friendly.
It's not.
But it will, like, if you kind of knuckle down, and it will teach you some really good techniques.
Yes.
And that goes for like all glass rods though.
And glass rods they're not easy to just pick up, and it was not easy in the beginning for me because I did look terrible casting for a long time. Yeah. But once you get it, then you're good.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I have a really fast casting stroke.
Yes.
So,
a lot of people.
So when I picked up any kind of glass for a while, I two positives don't make a and whatever.
Yeah,
and, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just didn't match up for me.
No, you're casting too fast.
And then, the more time I put into glass rods, the more I kind of paid attention to my, my technique and stuff. And it did. In the end, it made me a lot better caster.
Absolutely. So. Just slow down. I mean, I do like a 3 count. I don't know what you do, but with my river glass, it's pick up 1, 2, and then send it forward.
Yeah.
And versus like the EPRs at the time, I know I keep coming back to that, but it was like, cast back, cast forward.
Yeah, those are those are at the complete opposite ends.
Exactly, opposite ends, so. Yeah. And, do you think it's better to be quicker on the draw or a lighter presentation?
I guess it really depends on what kind of fishing you're doing. Like, if I was going to a bass fishing and stuff like that, I would probably prefer, like, a fast action graphite, like the EPR.
Yeah.
If I'm doing dry fly trout, there's like no question I would go with a really, really slow action glass.
But a EPR with a good dry, I know that sounds crazy, but you can like rip it up and then delicately place it again right where you want, faster than a glass.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
Yeah, with the graphite you'll get a lot of line speed and stuff that you just isn't present in that really slow noodly glass. So.
Noodly. Good term. Yeah, it was like a spaghetti noodle. Honestly, when I took it and I shook it like this, and I was like, "What have I got myself into?"
It's still wiggling to this day.
It is. It hasn't stopped. No, I try to catch the end of the leader to put a dry on.
Yeah. So.
Do you think that it matters size of the glass rod? Do you think that changes very much when it goes from like a 10-foot versus an 8.6?
Yeah. So like. What our customer service always tells us and tells our customers if they're looking for like a small water a small water rod. Mm-hmm. Glass is almost always the way to go because they do come in like a lot of compact sizes. So a couple that we have in front of us is like the Scott F series and the Echo River Glass. Those come in like small configurations that are tailored for trout. They're going to be sub 7.5 foot.
Yeah,
and they're going to be
4 weights,
3, 2, 1.
Down to zeros. The Butterstick has a zero. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, so that's a good one too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like if you're targeting small trout and maybe you're wading in the places with a bunch of like alders that are hanging over top of the water.
Yep.
We will frequently recommend glass rods. just because that's where they were born.
Yep.
Basically.
That's what they're meant for. That undercover, tossing up under there delicately, catching those finicky trout that aren't used to getting fished for.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And I guess let's like just go through with some of the characteristics of glass.
Let's do it.
Glass v graphite. So, like any kind of material, glass and graphite each have like positive and negatives they kind of have to work around.
Mm-hmm.
So graphite is very fast, and it's stiff.
Very.
So
it's got backbone.
yes, exactly.
Yes.
And if you put too much backbone on it, it becomes too brittle, and that's when the rods break and stuff like that.
Yep.
And then like with glass, it's extremely durable. Like you can bend this thing 7 ways from Sunday, and and it's gonna be completely fine. But also, it's a heavy stick.
Yes.
Most glass rods are very, very heavy in the front and the tip, so you kind of have to balance it out with a reel a lot of the time.
With a lighter reel.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't say it more. And it. Do you want to explain why it's a little? It's the fiberglass wrapping that is actually heavier than the graphite.
Yeah, so it's like really kind of that unique construction that glass offers. It's all the woven fibers, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you look up, just looking at the river glass in the, what is this called? This is the glacier glass color. You can actually see, if you put it up to the light, you can see the woven in there. You probably couldn't see it on camera, but if you picked up the rod and saw it, you can see it. So definitely can see the durability in it. But, I mean, graphite. Those are still, they hold up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why they're popular.
Yes.
But, I mean, we've worked combined here for like 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah.
Do you ever remember making a warranty for a glass rod?
No. Oh, wow.
Literally never.
Wow.
So,
yeah. No, I never thought. Wow. Yeah. Doing warranty for a couple of years. I can't say. There was one problem. I know Ryan, our customer service guy, got one of his pieces stuck together, and I guess that tends to happen with fiberglass and heat and water and cold. And they can expand and contrast in there a little bit more, so they can become stuck. But I mean, he was able to just, take it apart.
It took him a while, but
it took him a minute, and don't go wrenching on it with tools or anything. And don't bend it, farther than you should. Take it to your local fly shop. Let them work on it.
Yeah. So.
But they can't get stuck together. Don't freak out. They didn't get fused or anything. Yeah. Just have to.
Well, yeah. I mean, fiberglass is like a wonder material. I mean, it really is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I remember going to my grandparents' house, and they have fiberglass chairs from like the 50s.
Stop it.
They're the worst things in the world.
Oh my
because, like the coatings have come off after decades of use, so you get the little fibers all in underneath your skin.
That felt great.
So,
I can't say I've ever seen anything like that.
Oh, no. They're terrible.
That's wild.
But yeah, like when fiberglass came around, one of the early applications would have been fly rods, sort of. So, and it was,
I can't remember the name. We'll have to look up the name of the guy. I looked it up before. Can't remember. It was in England, wasn't it? I do believe so. Fact check me, YouTube. Somebody fact check me down in the comments. I believe fiberglass rods were made over in England. But I'm not sure when. I don't remember the date.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, like it wasn't long before it was adopted in fly fishing. And that was, the 50s and 60s were a time where hardware stores carried fly rods, and they were always fiberglass. They were like a Fenwick brand, or there was a famous baseball player, Ted Williams. He had his own line of, like he was hawking fiberglass rods with his name on it.
Really?
Yeah. So, wow. And you could pick those up.
Oh, like baseball?
Yeah.
Hawking?
Yep.
Oh my God, I had no idea. Wow, I wonder if they still make those. Are they still around?
I don't know about that.
Ooh, I wonder if somebody's got one tucked away in the attic somewhere.
I'm sure Grandma does. Yeah,
that would be cool to see. That would be cool. Hawking brand. Parker was talking last week about Diamondback. Yeah. I was listening. Yeah, I was listening. Even though I was off, I was listening.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's an American older American brand.
Now I remember Diamondback making bikes. I wonder if that's.
I don't know if they're related.
I don't know,
but
maybe diversification.
Yeah,
we're going to start making cars. We're going to start building cars in here.
Yeah, that's. I mean, like thinking back to all the manufacturers of glass rods. You had those Diamondbacks and those small time companies. So they were frequently, they kind of cropped up everywhere, and
there was money to be made in the fishing and fly fishing industry, and everybody wanted a piece.
Yeah, and because of that, like everybody for probably 30 to 40 years learned to fish on a fiberglass fly rod.
Yep.
And fly rods would have started bamboo until like the 40s, 50s. Then fiberglass took over because that's the hot new thing.
That was the new thing for the time until I think it was in the 60s or 70s we switched to graphite.
Yeah, so I think late 70s.
Was it the late 70s?
Yeah.
That we switched to graphite.
Like graphite comes over and then, hey, new kid on the block. Fiberglass kind of takes a backseat.
Yep.
And it stayed that way for a while. But like, there's just like any kind of, niche like a hobby, there are people that would have stayed with fiberglass throughout.
Yep.
Even with the rise of graphite and stuff.
Remember fishing with their grandparents or fishing,
Yeah,
they have memories of using the fiberglass, and they're going to keep that. I mean,
yeah,
I do, and
like that's a great thing was that, if Dad or if Grandpa learned with a fiberglass fly rod, it's super likely that Dad also fished with that same rod, and somewhere tucked in your closet, you have that rod still.
I still have mine, and I let my kid. He's starting to cast on it.
Absolutely.
So
But like with fiberglass, like the technology really hasn't changed. I mean, it's pretty steady for 60, 70 years now.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. But like the same can't be said for graphite though, because if I pick up a stick from 20 years ago and a modern one, it's night and day.
We had somebody come in here a couple weeks ago that brought in a rod, and it was really, really old, and he was like, I want to practice test this, and it might have been a bamboo, and I was like, I don't know. And he was like, oh, no, what do we find? And we cast it. Holy crap. I was like, wow, this rod ain't been touched in like 50 years. Yeah. Whew, I don't want to be the one to break it.
Blind taste test, would you be able to tell the difference between a modern glass rod and an old glass rod? Just
by feel alone? Yeah. Probably not.
I bet, they're pretty similar, but if you tested an older graphite and a newer one, you'd probably tell, just based on like the weight, really.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I wonder if any of our listeners have any old graphite rods. Come on into the shop. We'll get you in here, casting. That's awesome. I love it. I like glass rods, too, because all our waters around here, like, they tend to be smaller. There is bigger water closer by, but, I mean, along the good, juicy spots, especially on the Mad, it's a lot of overhead cover. Yeah, it's a lot of weighting, and the glass rods are really high performance there.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, our local waters are really kind of tailored for this stuff. So we have the Mad River, which is close by. A lot of people max out, like their ceiling is a 4-weight. And if your ceiling is a 4-weight, you can...
Yeah,
there's a good chance you're picking up a glass rod.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So. Yeah. I feel like if you want to fight smallmouth, though, 6-weight.
Yeah, and that's a great thing, too, about, like, glass is that... It makes everything more fun. It's a fun multiplier.
Yes, because everything feels huge.
Yeah, it feels like you've hooked on to the biggest fish of your life.
And it's, bluegill this big. But it's so awesome.
Little dinky guy.
Yeah. And then you get your bat and kill, 2 reel on there. All right. And then you get your bluegill and you let them run. And that thing screams. Oh, you're tarpon fishing in the Midwest.
Yeah, they make you look good. I mean, you get that bend in your rod.
Yeah,
and you're
like, oh man, ooh, and everybody else is looking. You're like, yeah, it's a bluegill. Gotta fight it though. Who's taking drag?
That looks good.
I know what I'm doing.
Trying to impress a girl.
Always. That's what we do. Oh, sir, Thomas. Let's talk about you for just a second.
All right.
Because we haven't really talked about you. Nobody really knows a lot. Thomas is the brain. We've talked a little bit about that. He runs the marketing. Anything that's written is usually through you on the blog. You control the blog. Mm-hmm. You definitely make sure my life's easier in the morning. You get here before anybody else. You unlock the door.
Yeah, it's just zen in the shop. It's just me and...
What are you doing in the morning when nobody else is here?
I guess Nate's here too.
Nate does show up that early. Yeah. I don't. I'm here at 9 o'clock in the morning. Because I'm normal and you people, you get up at 5. I get up at 5. But that's my time.
Yeah.
What are you doing at 5 in the morning? You lifting weights? Look at him. This guy is
Sometimes, yeah.
jacked. That's
A
awesome.
lot of times it's the dog. Doing something with the dog, but
You are a big dog guy.
Yeah.
I love that. I got to hear the story. Will you please tell the people about one of the first funniest things that ever happened with you here? Can you talk about that with your weightlifting?
oh yeah.
That's so good. I love this story. This is how I knew Thomas was mortal. Like, we all thought Thomas was immortal for a long time because he's a genius. Do you remember?
I have an Achilles heel. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, that was early days when I started working here, which was
we were
by the
still
time
at the old
this airs,
shop.
when this airs, I think I'll be here for 2 years.
Let's go. Good Lord.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Man, time flies when you're having fun.
But yeah. So
Let's hear it, man. It's fine.
I am very much into like kettlebell lifting. I love kettlebells and stuff.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, this dude had one delivered through the back door, and I'm not lying, I almost couldn't pick it up. It hurt.
yeah.
Yeah, and you just walked over, one-handed it.
I mean, there's something so primal about picking up a round piece of
Yes.
lead. You know, like,
You and
That's
Ryan
great.
both. You guys are awesome. So you got this kettlebell.
yeah, so like at the time I was doing my thing early in the mornings, wake up 5:30, I'll exercise for like an hour. And one time I was doing like a little overhead stuff. And that's it. I just don't remember anything else.
lights out.
I remember waking up on the floor, yeah.
My God, and thank goodness somebody was home with you, right?
Yeah, I think my lovely, caring girlfriend at the time was upstairs, and she's like, "Yeah, whoa, that was a big thump."
I can't imagine. And you just blacked out.
I just blacked out. Yeah, I didn't
That's
hit,
the
didn't hit my
dangerous-
head or anything. I just blacked out. I don't know.
That's the dangers
was
of
a
getting up
couple-
at 5 a.m.
Yeah. Let this
you
be a
should-
cautionary tale.
Yes.
So,
Yes, absolutely. Don't work out that early, you lunatics. 2 years.
yeah. That's
What
crazy.
is your favorite part of what you do now?
Let's see. Man, I do like just talking to all the guys here at the shop. It's so like working in a fly shop is so much more different than any kind of job I've had. Which
Oh, my goodness.
I've worked in college athletics before. I worked on a horse ranch before. So like I've kind of done everything from like office to outside. And like the fly shop offers like such a killer balance of stuff.
Of in between, yes.
And it's like you can fool around with the guys here. You can fool around with customers, and most of the time they get it.
Yeah.
We just have a good time.
Yeah,
But,
there's a lot of jokes. I feel like our customers are really easygoing
yeah. So
as compared, you know.
there's some bad apples out there.
Well, I think you're going to have that with anything.
Yeah. So
They know who they are.
uh-huh.
That's so good. You tried musky fishing? Have you had any success yet?
No, nothing
I'm
yet.
sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up if you
it's
hadn't.
all right.
But you have been out trying.
Yeah. So
You and
Ryan
Ryan
Ryan and I went out a couple times.
You guys went together. Oh my God, it's
Yeah,
like a competition here in the shop. Who's going to get one first?
Yeah. So
I've got money riding on, you know. So we'll see. I'm still pulling for you.
we're a student of the game. We're still learning. So
I need you to get good quick. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to tell me a story? I like when people tell me funny stories because I mean you have the funniest stories. Thomas is really good with them quick ones. The room will be completely silent and he'll just say some off the wall something that has me in tears on the ground crying. I can't even breathe because I'm laughing so hard. So I hate to put you on the spot. You know,
might be. You might be right
it's
now.
yeah.
So
Well, look in the blogs. Most of the stories in the blogs are yours too, huh?
yeah, I'm trying to get like a little more creative with the blog, so I'll drop little nuggets in there.
Okay.
It was a little sterile for a while. I'm still finding,
Finding your feed.
finding a little bit.
Look for the nuggets.
Yeah.
Look for the nuggets. It's like a seek and find.
If you connect the first letter of every blog, I'll tell you where the hidden treasure is.
What's the treasure? Is it deep? In deep with Thomas Newton.
Yeah. I'm sorry to our audio listeners out there.
Yeah, they don't
You'll
know
have
that.
to watch us on YouTube.
Now you got to go out and find us. What if they can't? Then you know what? Hit me up, and I'll tell you. If you can't see, but you're listening, I love you, and come to me. I'll help you.
Yeah.
We'll find the treasure of Thomas. All right, sir. Glass rods, goat, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, they're a whole lot of fun. I mean, and that's kind of like the whole gist of it, it is a fun multiplier. We have a great time using a bunch of glass rods. We get to go out and do a bunch of field testing on them.
Yes.
Kind of form our opinions so we know how to better guide our customers. And like, we've done the butter steak, we've done the superfine recently.
We've talked a lot about glass rods, and I feel like if you haven't tried a glass rod, you should come to the shop if you can, and we'll get you trying it. And we will show you exactly what we're talking about, when it comes to, having a little bit more fun. And we've got some cool new casting things here in the shop, our little thing. I'm not even going to tell you what you are. You got to come see them, and, you got to do that. And they are hand done. Can I say targets? Hand done targets for you to cast at, and they are really something to see.
Yeah, three out of the 4.
You know what?
Real good.
Even the 4th one, which was done in house, I'll let you see which one it is when you do come. It has character.
Yeah,
I love him.
It's a stalker if I've ever seen one.
Outstanding. All right. Anything else, Thomas? You're the one that tells me if I screw anything up. Did I miss anything on this podcast?
I don't think so. I
like
think
us.
we've been doing real good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, like us on YouTube. Follow us. If you like what we're doing,
tell me. If
tell
you
us,
don't like me and you want to see more of Thomas or you want to see more of Parker, let us know.
Yeah, we're always trying to find ways to be better. So, like,
always.
You can always drop a comment. We'll work on that in the future.
Look for us on TikTok. I know Nate and Kyle are doing TikTok now, and they are doing some funny stuff. I don't know if you guys seen, there was a newest one on there. It's Ryan getting shot. He doesn't actually get shot, but they do hit something in the drift boat, and Ryan goes sailing to the side, and I had tears in my eyes watching it the first time.
It was good.
There's a couple other ones out there. I don't know if I don't want to ruin anything if Nate's don't put it out, but there's ones in there that I'm just like, you guys are so mean, but this is exactly what we needed. So if you want to see more of that stuff, if you want to see more of glass rods, if you want to see us fishing more, just let us know in the comments and, like us, tell us we're doing a good job, and we'll keep doing it. Until next time, Thomas, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sean.
God, I love working with you every day. Until next time, be nice to each other, incorporate it, tell each other you love you. Leave them with something, Thomas. Leave them with something.
Let me see. I gotta come up with something good.
Mm-hmm.
Tell your friends. Tell your mom. Tell your mom's friends. Thank you.
We'll catch you next time.